Please be money. Please be money. Oh, that's not money. It's from SpongeBob.
Runaway Road Trip. Today, we are going to be talking about a pretty interesting SpongeBob special that maybe a lot of you guys have never even seen. It is in season 8, so therefore, you know, a lot of people maybe didn't even watch that far into the SpongeBob series or could have just missed it. So we'll be talking about that, but not just that, unboxing all of the meal toys they dropped at Burger King at the time to promote this series. Although you might not actually think that that was what it was for. But we'll also be ranking these on a scale of 1 to 10 good noodle stars based off of how well they connect to the actual, you know, series itself. If you guys are new here, I've already covered Pests of the West, Friend or Foe, Atlantis Square more recently. That one had some incredible lore and amazing connections to the Atlantis Square episode. That's probably one of my favorites. Will this one be as great as that one? I don't know. Only time will tell. So Runaway Road Trip was promoted pretty heavily with a few different products we'll talk about. But what makes this special a little bit different from every other SpongeBob special is it actually is a special that contains 5 episodes, which off the top of my head, I can't name any other series similar to this, of really any show actually, but especially SpongeBob. This was in 2011. Nickelodeon promoted this as a vacation special mini-series where for 5 days straight they were airing a brand new episode of SpongeBob that all was themed after, well, vacations. And then I just came back from a vacation from Nickelodeon universe. You can only say Nickelodeon universe with 3 universes that incrementally get a little lower. But I figured this is a perfect time to cover this. But in those 5 episodes, you get the first episode where Mr. Krabs takes SpongeBob for some reason on a road trip with his daughter Pearl to a very, very amazing location while also passing the one that Pearl wanted to go to very, very bad. What was it, the boy band museum, the teenage boy museum? But they go to the Mint. They go to the Mint, the place where they make all the money for Bikini Bottom, which of course is Mr. Krabs' dream. And without spoiling the whole episode, by the end of it, things go bad and Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob end up on money. I don't know fully why, but I'm interested to see if that ties into this somehow. Second episode was with Sandy. It's called the Mooncation, where for the first time SpongeBob successfully makes it to the moon. We all remember the iconic episode Sandy's Rocket, where SpongeBob was supposed to go to the moon, but he ended up ruining it, not being able to go because, well, he abducted like all of Bikini Bottom. The next episode, Plankton goes on a vacation, actually a second honeymoon with Karen, even though they never went on a first honeymoon, the second one. But he doesn't want to give up on his plan to destroy the Krusty Krab, of course, so he also invites, by a free vacation pamphlet, Mr. Krabs to his honeymoon on the cruise. Which, of course, Mr. Krabs brings SpongeBob for that, too. Like, it's like he can't go anywhere without SpongeBob. I guess it's just a way to, you know, reel SpongeBob into the episode somehow. So Mr. Krabs brings him, too. It's an awesome episode. And then the last one before the finale is Staycation, where Patrick wants to go on a vacation, decides he needs to go on a vacation, but then realizes it's not on his budget. So him and SpongeBob decide that they're going to give Patrick a staycation where he stays at home and tries to spoil himself with all of the vacation necessities at home. And then the finale, we get the SquarePants vacation where SpongeBob and his mom and dad and Patrick go on vacation. They take a road trip in their family boat wagon. And we get to find out that SpongeBob's mom can sing, you know? She had a little bit of that, you know? That's where SpongeBob got a little bit of them vocals from.
Looks like clear skies ahead.
But on their vacation, this happens where their whole car starts flying across the road because of their singing. And does a little bit of damage, to the car. And for that reason, they have to stop and get it repaired. During that repair, SpongeBob and Patrick go down what is one of the most epic water slides of all time. But also doing this, they get lost and have to find their way back to Mama SquarePants and Papa SquarePants. But along that being lost section, they do run into a gift shop. You know, as you do on vacations, you end up on gift shops, you end up at the world's biggest ball of yarn or twine or something like that. And I think that might be where these meal toys come in, because these are titled Bikini Bottom Souvenir Shop, which is interesting because if you look at these on the surface level without knowing this special was going on, there is no way you would have been able to connect it to that episode. I actually had to figure out how they were connected once I got them in because there was no apparent branding for it. But I looked up these specials that were in 2011. One is Legends of Bikini Bottom, which has a toy set, and we will be covering that too eventually once we can find a complete set. But the other one is Runaway road trip, so it connects perfectly with this set. But they didn't really do a good job with tying in the branding to the series, I will say. But the advertising for the Runaway Road Trip did not stop here. We also got this book. Yeah, a book. Every SpongeBob special gets a book, except for after 2011. But not just that, this random special that you probably haven't even heard of also got 2 video games. Just like Atlantis SquarePantis, it got 2 games. And that is SpongeBob Surf and Skate Road Trip. So with the Surf and Skate Road Trip DS game, it's like literally not connected to the special at all. You just, like, I think there's like a brief moment you see the car that they're in, like, yeah, the back here, you see the car they're in. You have the font on the bottom there that says Road Trip, but like nothing else is, once you start the game, you're just surfing and skating these random, barely Bikini Bottom-esque locations. But I will give a little, like, I mean the smallest amount of credit to the Xbox 360 Connect version. This one, the intro of the game starts off exactly like the road trip episode, and all the other episodes, they start off with a slideshow where the character is showing their vacation, and as they're showing them, the slides transition you into the episode as a memory of that vacation. And this one starts showing all the different vacations that every character went on in their 5-episode miniseries. But at the end, there's one more mystery slide that they didn't show in the episode, the 6th episode, if you will, and it is their surf and skate vacation. Once you get past that cutscene, we're back into like its own thing. There is like no connection to the episode at all, no storyline like that makes sense. You're just surfing, skating, and a barely Bikini Bottom location. I won't say the games have like the best concepts ever, but it's cool, I guess, that they kind of tied something into this. But comparing it to the Atlantis SquarePantis game or the Truth or Square game, not really that like in-depth of a game. But that's pretty much it. And then we got these meal toys. So let's go ahead and open them up. Now that you know everything there is about the SpongeBob Runaway Road Trip special, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so starting it off here, I'm gonna start, I can see them obviously, but I'm trying not to pay too much attention to them. But I would say the first one here ties in pretty well. You get this SpongeBob camera here, and I guess this is supposed to be the camera that SpongeBob is using throughout all of these episodes. Actually, in every single one of them. In this 5-part miniseries, you will see the characters taking photos that end up being in their slideshow at the end to kind of show you what they did. And SpongeBob uses this camera a lot in the family road trip. And you actually get that camera, and you know what? Like, it's a pretty cool little viewfinder, so you can actually look through this, and you guys will get a clip right now and you'll be able to see SpongeBob doing different vacation stuff. None of the pictures are actually tied to that episode at all, but I'm only assuming that's because like they were probably working on this as the episode was being worked on too, so that way they can come out simultaneously. But I'm gonna say that's pretty cool. I mean, 5 slides on the viewfinder isn't bad at all, considering that, like, you know, a regular viewfinder you pay for ends up with like what, like 10? And this was free and it went with your meal too. But on that, I would get, I mean, it ties into the episode quite a bit. So for that reason, I'm gonna go ahead and say I'll give this one assuming it's gonna get worse from here, because I'm just glancing, I'm gonna give it a 10. Okay, I'm gonna give this one a 10 because I feel like it might be the best one. I don't know, we'll see. The best that ties in. Some of them are great, but the tie into the episode, we'll see. Inside here, you also get some information, so let's take a look at this. I wish you would have gotten a adventure magazine like you got with the Atlantis SquarePantis one. The adventure magazine seems to be non-existent for this special. I could not find it anywhere, nor could I even find a picture online to reference it. So presumably this one didn't get that, but it makes sense because this barely ties into the episode. But you just get some instructions on that one, as well as a little sneak peek of the other items that you could possibly get. But I'll give that a 10 out of 10. Okay, let's see our next item. Let's go. The next one up, what do we have here? It's like SpongeBob, like, I don't even know what he's doing. This is like when you put on your dating profile that you like long, nice walks on the beach. This is what you imagine you on the beach looking like with like the sun behind you and just barely seeing your face and a little more of your silhouette than your actual face and the beauty that is the beach. I don't know what he's doing. Like, why is he waving at us to do anything? What is this? Okay, I see how this could tie in. We're gonna try our best to work this in here. So it comes with the surfboard here, and it also comes with a few different SpongeBob beach items. So it comes with some 45 SPS sunscreen, which we know SpongeBob be rocking that sunscreen. Hey! Some bubbles, and also a telescope, and also a what is it called? Not a telescope, Ryan. What is the smaller version? What is it, like right above binoculars, but below a telescope? That thing, Ryan will put it on screen, assuredly. Thank you, Jimmy. Or is it still a telescope? I don't know. You don't know. You don't know. But you put SpongeBob on this little base here. Oh, and he's like a hula figure. That's actually kind of sick. So it makes him into like a little hula figure. And then you can put the surfboard in his hand, I'm assuming. And you know what? I feel like this was a lucky one. Like this barely, like they got lucky that it kind of ties into the overall branding for the series because of the skate and surf game they released. But I don't think in that actual episode he goes like surfing. Well, they do go moonboarding in the Sandy episode, and Sandy does like one of the sickest tricks ever that even the Rocket family would be humbled by. But other than that, I can't really think of him surfing in the episode. But we're gonna let it slide because of the video game tie-in. So because of that, we're gonna go ahead and say I'll give him an 8 out of 10. Like I feel like that's pretty solid considering all things. So 8 out of 10 in our next one there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one here. This is a Squidward one. And then the Squidward one is an interesting one because he doesn't play a huge role in any of the episodes. What is wrong with his face? It's like I cannot put my finger on it, but there's something wrong with his face right now. I just don't know what it is. Is it that he's smiling? Is it because he's so infrequently smiles? It seems like another person to me. So he turns into a pin, but it has a switch on the side here, so I can presume that, you know, it did something. I'm like thinking because of the like clear base, or maybe it lit up. Let's go ahead and see the instructions here if it has any information about it. Ah, so the tip used to light up in red. That's what you always want to do, kids, is point a red laser at your eye to see if it works. Yeah, it doesn't work anymore, but it used to glow with a red light, so that way you could, like, I don't know, be able to, like, laser focus your drawing. But it comes with these cards as well, too. You got the Squidward doing the thing card there with the group. You got 2 SpongeBob cards, but it also comes with a maze, and then, or is it a, what is that? That's a game that has not enough depth to it to, like, ever end up being competitive. It always just ends up as a cat scratch.
Gordon and Waffle and Mr. Blick.
No, not you. This does not tie. What does this even do? I mean, I'm trying to be really like yoga stretch, you know, like I'm trying to freaking Mr. Elastic stretch to make this work. Maybe like some people do stuff like this in the car on a road trip. That's it, maybe. I'm gonna give this a 5. If we're rating it as a toy, that's an amazingly cute Squidward pin. I'm happy to add this to the collection. It still works too. But as far as how it ties into the special, I gotta say probably a 5. Okay, next up we have a Mr. Krabs one here, and I believe this is made to be like a penny pincher. So it's Mr. Krabs' like silhouette here, and then on the outside it actually has plankton. You can actually pinch with it. Not enough strength to really pick up anything notable. I mean, some little plastic or something like this. But you know what? Like, I say I know the exact moment from the episode that they could have based this off of. And it's when they're in the mint, I think that Mr. Krabs like jumps onto the machine to pick up a coin, and the coin like shines when he picks it up, and it's like perfectly pinched in between his claws. And that's what it is. Yeah, Mr. Krabs penny pincher. So let's go ahead and see here. Does it have that level of nimbleness to get something so small up even? We have a Chuck E. Cheese token here. Yeah, you know what? I don't even know if I could do that. It's like, you know, we've all been there struggling. You know, like you're at the grocery store and you got a line behind you and you're on that slick floor trying to pick up your change that you dropped, and you're like, oh man. Every time you miss it, it gets a little bit more embarrassing. You get a little bit more anxious. You feel the sweat starting to build from anxiety. Is that just me? I don't know. It happens to me. And then you just like, do I give up? Do I just give up and just walk away from this? No, then you look like a real loser because you gave up and you didn't pick it up. So then you're just like, I'm gonna keep trying, and then you just give too much force and you get it up. There we go. I had to traumatize myself to get it to happen, but that's not easy. So the fact that Mr. Krabs can do it is actually pretty sweet, and I can see where there's a little space here too, to where it's supposed to kind of lodge the quarter in. You can see like 2 little separate sections that it's supposed to like groove in the coin too, so that's pretty sweet. And because it does tie into the penny pinchingness of his episode, I'll go ahead and give that one, is it better? I think the surfboard one might still be better though. I'll give it an 8 too, though. An 8 out of 10. Next up here, we have a Gary one. But to be honest, Gary is like not featured. He doesn't even go on the road trip. Like Gary's like not featured in any of the episodes. But this is sick. I don't even care. You know what? This is dope. So even if Gary's not featured heavily in this episode, that is fantastic. Look at that high quality Gary's eye. That's a beautiful Gary's eye. And then you get a second one here. 2 of Gary's eyes. Ooh la 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 la, ooh la 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 la. But you put him on this little headband. That is actually so freaking sick, dude. And then you've got Gary's eyes as like a little headwear. My head's way too big for this, but let's see if we can get it on here. There you have it. You've got Gary's eyes as a hat. That is so sick. That's one of my favorite SpongeBob meal toys ever. Just because it's so cool, like I definitely want to put this on like a plush or something. Yes, that is amazing. Look at that. That's so cute. So you can put it on a plushie so you have little baby Sandy here with the Gary's eyes Mickey Mouse ears. That's amazing. That's such a cool item. And I don't have this in the collection either. You know how much I love my Krabby Patty hat. I'm gonna have to switch this out soon to put a little Gary's eyes in here. Hey, that's freaking tough, dude. I don't care who you are. That's tough right there. That's sick. It's almost like Gary's looking above SpongeBob. I'm in love with this one. All right. You know what, dude? This may not connect to the episode at all, but I am going to give this a very biased 10 out of 10. Okay, on a real scale of how it connects to the episode, maybe a 6, but this is my show, so I'm giving it a 10. Okay, 10 out of 10 for Gary's eyes. Wait a minute, no way. Oh my gosh. They just got even cooler. I was like, oh, that's dope. They can't get any more dope than that. Assuredly, we've reached peak dopeness. That is freaking sweet. There we go. We got the glow-in-the-dark Gary's eyes. That is so sick, dude. Now let's put it on the chair. That is so freaking sweet, dude. That is so freaking sweet. All right, they got even cooler. They get an 11 out of 10. You know what? It may not connect to the episode, but if this was the only opportunity they can give us this beauty, I'll take it. Glow in the dark, Gary's eyes headband. Love it. All right, so a very biased score there. But let's move on. So next up here we have is a Plankton one. So you got Plankton, which makes sense. So you've got a Plankton one, a SpongeBob one, a Mr. Krabs one, and Plankton did have a vacation special episode. So the only character I don't see anything for, though, with these next two, they don't have Sandy in it, which she was one of the major episodes. So, and also a Patrick. I mean, I guess we could give Patrick, like, he's in this card here. He's in some of the photos for this here. Patrick had his own, like, you know, episode as well too, so it would have been cool, but at least he's in there some places. But I wish they would have put Sandy somewhere. Sandy is not even in the group photo, nor is she in any of the vacation photos. But this is a kaleidoscope. So a fun fact, a lot of people don't know, but the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award, the real one actually has a kaleidoscope at the end of it. So that's just a little fun random fact there. But this is a Plankton kaleidoscope. I mean, it's just a fun toy. I could say, I guess kaleidoscopes are one of those random souvenir items you can get. You know, they have mood rings, snow globes, random stuff like that. And I have had a couple kaleidoscopes as a kid that were from random places, so I'll give it that. And I guess if this is the only way they could tie Plankton in, oh my gosh, dude, they should have just done a whole line of these headbands, given us the Krusty Krab hat for SpongeBob. For Patrick, just have a little top piece of his head like the brain coral. Did you just have little Patrick's nub there? Mr. Krabs, you could have had his eyes too, but a Plankton antennas. That would be sick. For Squidward, maybe a bald cap. For Squidward. But that would have been sick. I mean, Sandy, they could have given you like a, I don't know, like a plastic bag that your parents could tell you to take off your head because you're gonna suffocate. But the kaleidoscope is cool. I'm gonna give the kaleidoscope a 6 out of 10. It feels very loosely connected, but I do like the Planktons featured on it. Okay, and then the next one here, we have a picture frame. Okay, so with the picture frame, it's kind of weird, not gonna lie. It's like a naked SpongeBob. Like, you put it like this, and it's SpongeBob's outline, I guess, but he's naked, a little uncomfortable, but I kind of like it. And then on the back here, you got the jellyfish side. Oh, wait. they found a way to get Sandy in here somewhere. So they're like, how do we incorporate Sandy in here in any way? And you get this random Sandy photo of her sandboarding just in the frame. Like, it's so, just wake up in the morning, hit your alarm clock. Oh, Sandy. I guess it's just like, it's such a random picture to put in there. And it didn't give you other ones like, oh, pick your favorite character. I guess just Sandy. There's no other options. Oh, okay. So apparently, it's not the strongest magnet, but it's magnetic. I was gonna say again, how does this connect to like a souvenir? And yes, many vacation spots, they do have magnets. You know, I've got a bunch of them. Magnets from Yosemite, the Grand Canyon. In fact, in this episode, they were going to go visit the Great Barrier Reef. So I guess they got me. I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10. That is a very typical roadside attraction gift shop item, so I'll take that one. The random Sandy photo included. 8 out of 10. And then the last one is Gary again, which is, again, really odd that Gary has got two toys in this series, which doesn't really have much of Gary in it at all. The only thing that's saving it is the fact that in the inside of this Gary, there is little things so you can make it into a water toy, I guess. It's a snow globe. It is a snow globe. So I was like thinking it was a water toy where you had like jets or something, but you shake it up and those little Bikini Bottom flowers and jellyfish in there move around. Every time I think, and really if you think about it, the bobblehead is also a very typical souvenir item. And kind of so is the pin. The pin kind of is. Why is this all clicking for me now? Disneyland, very common souvenir item is the ears and like other headband accessories for other type of things, you know? Ryan inserts some other headband existing items for other theme parks. That kind of goes hard. They kind of ended up, you know? I feel like I was the one that wasn't noticing it. They did a pretty good job of making these all gift shop themed. So this is a snow globe that is Gary, and in the background, I was gonna say what's saving it is you've got the Bikini Bottom boat there with all of the different characters that were featured in their own episode, except for Plankton, unless he's just in there and I can't see him, that were featured in their own episode for this Runaway Road Trip special. To be honest, when I started this video, I thought I was going to end up giving this thing a low score, but after getting everything open, really thinking about all of the options, I gotta say, I would say now that I've opened my brain up, this being a magnet, this being a snow globe, this being your typical theme park ears or other headpiece, kaleidoscope, camera he used in all the episodes, the classic bobblehead. I would say the only ones that really are a little off is, I don't know if a kaleidoscope is a typical gift shop item, but I've had it a few times. And maybe the pin. Maybe the pin is like the only thing that's kind of like, is that a gift shop like typical thing? I guess, right? Like pretty much anywhere has pins of some kind. You can go to the doctor and leave with a pin, right? But I was thinking I was gonna give this like a 5, but now that I've gotten it all out, big shout out to the Spongebob marketing team. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. I can't give it a 10 because freaking Atlantis Square was next level good, but I was shocked by how well they actually pulled off the gift shop theme by the end of it. So for that reason alone, it will get an 8.5 out of 10. You guys let me know what you think. If you haven't seen the Spongebob Runaway Road Trip special, go check it out. I recommend always the physical media. Go pick up the DVD. This contains all 5 episodes in it, as well as some bonus features, some bonus episodes too. You know, it has an awesome like opening scene too, like an open DVD menu. You know, it really gets you in the feel for the vacation vibes. Maybe when you're on your vacation, your next vacation, take this disc with you when you're in your off time, or you're at your hotel or your cabin or whatever it is, and you're just chilling, you know, getting the road trip and the vacation vibes with the Runaway Road Trip. But you could probably leave the game. The game you could probably, I'll spare you the game. That you need to connect and also a very, very high level of patience. But on that note, stay tuned here, guys. There's a couple pieces here that I might want to add to the collection. But before that, if you guys haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here, and also check out the Patreon. That helps me doing all the videos that we do here on this series. This series, I want to do more episodes for, but it's really hard to find all of the sets complete like this that I can open up at an affordable price. So if you have any of these sets sets complete, like just in storage or in your garage, and you just haven't opened them yet and you're not using them and you want, I'll buy them, you know, at a fair price below what they're going for, because some sets are like ridiculously pricey for no reason. So I'm looking for them. I'm on the lookout for the complete sets of the different SpongeBob meal toys. But you guys can check out the Patreon. That's the ultimate way to support everything that I'm doing. You can sign up for $2 a month. You'll get an extended version of this video as well as every other video that I upload on YouTube, as well as early release. They're ad-free, and it helps keep this channel going. It helps keep us sailing on the ship over the Bikini Bottom seas. And if you guys want to support us even further, you can go check out the Whatnot stream. You can use my link in the description down below. When you sign up, you get $15 for free. I'm live every single Friday, a lot of times on Wednesday too, almost 1 to 2 times a week, and I do giveaways every single show. So if you want some free stuff, come check it out. Yeah, I even pay for the shipping. You just got to be there hanging out and you might win something free. But on that note, before we add any of this, you know the drill. Say provolone cheddar block. Okay, so temporarily, for a while to be honest, the Gary eyes are going to be going behind the chair here. So in the newer videos, you guys will see this here instead of the Krusty Krab hat. Krusty Krab hat honestly needs to be washed anyway. So this will be the temporary replacement, and only you guys that watch this video will know how or why they got here. I love it. Okay, and I put the camera here. I don't know if I'll keep it here, but I don't know. I was trying to go for the vibe of like, you know, this camera is what they use to take these iconic moment shots in the cell, but I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. And I'm always looking for a new pin to add to the collection. So Squidward, well, let's take these non-SpongeBob pins out here and hopefully we'll have some room. There we go. So I use these pins all the time in our Whatnot stream, and Squidward, I'll add you to the rotation. I'm sure people would love to see it. And with that, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here, Whatnot, Patreon, all that stuff is down below. I'll see you in this video right here. I know you are going to enjoy it. It's our most recent video. Come check it out. A lot of work went into it and we had a whole lot more fun. I'll see you over there, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Adios and bloop.